What is up, everybody? It is Drew here, back again with a Nussbaum update. Gonna take you guys on a quick tour of my truck and, do some slick city driving. I know there's some smaller streets that I'll be going through, and we'll do some story times as well. So, without further ado, let's do a little tour. Got my whole front end, very roomy up here. My logs on duty right now. Did my inspections, which is why I'm on duty. Got my douche flute and headset there. Yes, I'm a nicotine addict. Got a little calendar up there. Doesn't start till December of this year, but company was giving them out. So yeah, pretty basic setup. We got all of our controls and buttons for everything. We have cab facing and outward facing cameras, and that's the control panel for the camera right there. And right over there, that little black box is basically tells you that the cameras are working. So I know that may be a turn off for a lot of people, but I honestly don't mind it. I mean, the cameras only trigger when certain events happen, such as hard braking, or if you go above the fleet speed limit, which I believe is 75, they'll trigger after that. So yeah, they're not constantly watching you. I know a lot of people, no, I don't think so. So let's do a little tour of the back. Handy dandy microwave, bedroom area, my home for the week, Monday through Friday usually. Got some windows. I took the covers off of there. I like having some natural light in the truck. A retractable bunk bed. Yeah. Let it down here. Yeah, no mattress on top, which is awesome, but I'll have to pick up one of those because I will have people that ride with me pretty frequently. So got a handy dandy little TV there. Storage cabinets. That one's where I store all my silverware, plates and stuff, and it's where all the goods are, bread for sandwiches, snack stuff, just the whole 9 yards. Built-in fridge. Handy dandy Carhartt Nussbaum jacket with a bunch of animal hair because I have animals. So let's start her up and we'll do a walk around of the outside too. Let the gauges do their thing. I am going to put the heat on. Make sure it's all the way up. And that's fine. Air supply's low. Let that build up. Give that a good start up there. And we'll take a walk outside. Have battery switch, fire extinguisher. Battery switches for when I'm gone during the weekend. I'll turn that off so that way it doesn't drain any battery. Got a nice, beautiful Freightliner Cascadia. Got a solar panel on top that charges the battery when it's sunny out, which it's not right now, but it actually still charges it even when there's not a whole lot of sun. Nice little aerial view. Got the back in between the trailers and whatnot. Tires are all good. Did all my inspection stuff then. Everything's just pretty basic, so. And I have one of the trailers that nobody really likes, just these full-length skirt trailers. They kind of suck because you have to pop these things open here if you want to move the tandems back or forward, whatever. So kind of a pain, but they are getting rid of those. I know this is an older trailer, so all sealed up. I am loaded with salt right now, food grade salt. Taking that over to Chicagoland. Open up the tails, because all of these older trailers have tails on them, and I know they're newer trailers, they're getting rid of the tails. So yeah, not a bad go. A little echoey in here. Have another driver parked right next to me. I know us drivers that live up north in Michigan will park their trucks as well. So yeah, got a couple other guys here. I'm one of the 3. Yeah, these are the only other 2 guys besides myself that park here. So let's get back in here. Magnetic phone mount. This is where my phone sits when I am recording a video. Morton Salt right here. This is where I picked up my load. Put you right there. You know, let me actually... that'll be an okay view. It's like a side view almost. Let me adjust this a little bit here. Yeah. Alright, we'll do a little bit of a side view for you guys. So, yeah, from an update aspect of things, everything is going really well. No major complaints with the company. I know the first video that I posted a few months ago, that was when, I think that was like my 2nd or 3rd week, something like that. But I ended up posting that video like 3 months into working. So as of now, I have 8 months with Nussbaum, and everything is, you know, just still really good. They still mean everything they say when it comes to the bonuses and whatnot, and just how they have the scorecard system. That's part of your bonus if you can get a good scorecard while you're driving, which I'll get into that in a separate video. But good scores mean more money. So yeah, just some story times and stuff about to come. So let me turn my lights off here in the back because I have them pretty much all on. Yep, and the truck likes to shut itself down. Just these newer Cascadias have engine idle controls on them. So, fluid levels are good. Tires have air. Right PSI. Seatbelt, so we could be safe. Mirrors adjusted, everything like that. Lights are on, lights are working in the trailer. Tails are out. Just all the little things you look for before you drive. So, I think it's about ready. I think we're about ready to go to Chicagoland now. Let me actually show you guys real quick. Because with Nussbaum, I don't know how other companies do stuff like this, but once we're loaded, Nussbaum has their own app system. If it'll log me in here. Yeah, so currently at Morton Salt in Manistee, Michigan, and have to depart, and I currently have trailer 6385. Nice little Bluetooth thing right there, connects to the trailer. We used to have to do it manually every time, but now we have the option to just punch it in there. So we have to put our weight, which I keep my paperwork right above me. Got my paperwork for my salt, and total weight is 43,202 pounds. And there are 17 pallets on the trailer. All food grade salt. Close that up, and then once we get to the Morton Salt Distribution Center in Melrose Park, Illinois, which is just outside of Chicago, a little bit southwest of Chicago, I want to say, then we'll be good. Go on our Geo tab there, get that all, make sure all my information is correct, like my trailer number and whatnot. 1506, and oops, I didn't change my trailer. Might want to do that. 6385. That's fine, it hasn't been like that long. Okay. I'll show you guys this too. So, gotta have, you know, truck number, trailer number. That's my shipment order number that is going out. I'll actually verify the logs for you guys too, if it'll work. All right. So we got to go through and verify. We had Thanksgiving off, so I have a lot of off-duty days there. Looks like I didn't even verify from last Sunday. But let's get through all of that. Verified. Wasn't that busy of a day. That looks like, yeah, Monday wasn't that busy of a day. Very slow week pre-Thanksgiving, but we'll start picking up here fairly soon. It wasn't that busy that day either. Short loads, and there's all my off-duty days. Got home on Tuesday, and then had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday off, and I am leaving on a Sunday night. So, go ahead and get through all of these days here, and then we are to Sunday, and I will verify that once I get into Chicagoland. So, I think it's time. Oh, my truck just turned off. That's I don't like these about the Cascadias and their idle control. I think you have like 200 seconds before the engine shuts off if it's just sitting here idling. So, it's time to go anyways. Alright, put it in gear. And we are off. You can kind of see the mirror at the bottom right of the screen. I don't know, you probably can't see it that well, but going to kind of do a loop around in this parking lot, and it's a pretty large parking lot, a lot of space, especially to park the trucks. There's some rose cartage trucks. I think they haul bulk salt out of here. I think they bring the solution that they use to make the salt. Turn around, make sure I don't jackknife the trailer, doesn't strike the cab. That would suck. Nobody's coming from each way. There is my Dodge Dart, which I will be getting a new car soon. Very excited about that. So, heading on out of here. So, a couple of the story times I had in mind. Let's start with a couple weeks ago, because this one was actually pretty insane. So, I was driving along on North Avenue, going through Carroll Stream, Illinois, heading to West Chicago to pick up a load of empty juice bottles, because usually our back hauls from West Chicago, or back hauls from Chicagoland, I should say, consist of empty Old Orchard juice bottles. So I was on my way to pick up a load of those, and while I was on North Avenue on Illinois Route 64, and mind you, it's a 3-lane highway going each direction, so you have, one going north, one going south, and so I was northbound, and I was in the left lane getting ready to make a left-hand turn about a mile ahead, and I had a car come up beside me. I don't know if he was like drunk or high or just not paying attention, because that's usually the case. Nobody pays attention. He comes up and he sideswipes my trailer. And if I'm able to insert some photos of the damage, it wasn't really damage, it was cosmetic, but if I can insert some pictures in, I will do that so you can see. But yeah, I got hit. I had to file a police report just because that's, company policy. I called the company just to tell them what happened, and they recommended I file a police report. So that's what I did. Got some cars coming through here. People park on the side of the road up here, and these cars come by and you can't really get through. Not a lot of room. So, that truck that just passed, he's another driver. I wonder if he's taking off tonight. So, yeah, anyway. anyways, I got sideswiped a couple weeks ago. I'm not really surprised. You know, that's probably not going to be the last time it happens. You can't really avoid stuff like that when it comes to driving truck, honestly. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it was only cosmetic, so he didn't really do a great deal of damage, but he also took off in the process, like, he knew he screwed up. And I didn't even really know that he hit me until I got out, because I saw him swerve back into the center lane, and I kind of felt, it almost felt like I hit a pothole with my trailer. Like he didn't hit me that hard. I'm like, did this dude just hit me? So I got up ahead, I stopped on the side of the road and checked, and sure enough, there was a big black mark from his mirror right on the side of my trailer. So he actually went through almost half of the length of my trailer and almost got my tractor. So yeah, that was quite fun. So yep, always got to watch, especially in trucking. You know, people don't pay attention, and you know, we're basically just big rolling targets on the road. And that's why it's company policy to file a police report, because it could be so easy for somebody to hit and run. You know, like in my instance, there wasn't really any damage to his car. I saw him fixing his mirror because he was in the left turn lane, turning to get out of there as quick as he could. But he could have came back and sued the company and sued me, you know, for him hitting me. And he didn't get in front of my cameras, so my cameras didn't catch anything. You know, he could have easily, if I didn't report it, he could have said, oh, well, this semi-driver swiped right in front of me and I got injured. You know, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. So it's better to let the cops know, like, as soon as it happens, just so they have it on file. Tell them your side of the story and let it be like that. So, and I got the description of the vehicle. Unfortunately, I didn't get a plate for it, which sucks, because, you know, he knew he screwed up, so he was like trying to avoid my sight the whole entire time. So yeah, that happened. And then another thing that happened just about, it's almost been a month now since I've been back, but anyways, let's talk about the Department of Transportation, the good old DOT. Pretty much the worst enemy of truckers. So let me just say, if you have a CDL, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The shit that you have to go through to, you know, with doctors, and you have to be in good health and everything like that. If you're wanting to get a CDL, then make sure you are in good health. Make sure, you know, nothing terribly wrong. Just make sure there's nothing wrong with you. Alright? So, because if there is, it's going to be harder than hell to get a med card to drive. So, med cards kind of work, you know, if you're new to trucking. If you have a clean bill of health, you have to get a physical before you can drive a truck. If you have a clean bill of health, if the doctor checks you out, everything's good, you get a 2-year DOT med card. You have to carry that around with you. If you get pulled over, you have to show it to the cops. You know, just that kind of stuff. So let me talk about this. So the last company I worked for, and I got my physical, I got a 2-year clearing. So, you know, I was already, I think I worked for my last company for about 6 months, but then when I started with Nussbaum, they have their own doctor. It's required that you have to get, you know, a new physical, being that you're starting with a new company. So from the very start, I've had problems with this doctor, and it's not even so much the doctor. I mean, I'm chunky. That's just how it is. And, you know, the rules have most likely gotten stricter because they're always adding new things to the handbook and everything. So it's not really so much the doctor, you know, he's just trying to save his job, because if something were to happen, you know, he could get investigated. So here's what happened. I start off with Nussbaum, and they go do their DOT physicals through this one doctor in Bloomington, Illinois. And the first time I went to see him, he only gave me a 3-month card because of my BMI, and he wanted me to get a sleep study done. BMI, neck size, either or, I don't know what the main factor was, but you know, and they give you this questionnaire like, do you have problems sleeping? You know, do you snore? Do you feel like you're gonna fall asleep behind the, you know, just those questions, and which obviously no, I've never had that problem, and I don't think I ever will. But like I said, you know, just following the rules. He wanted me to get a sleep test, which was a pain in the butt at first because I don't go through Nussbaum's health insurance program. I go through a different one, and it's cheaper. In my opinion, Nussbaum, I mean, I have a wife and a kid. Now, if you're single and, you know, driving truck, it might be something that's right for you, but it wasn't right for me, mainly because it was just super expensive, and I'm paying for cheaper insurance for all 3 of us than if I were, you know, paying for it here. So they were going to have me do a sleep study through another company or another medical place they work with, but couldn't end up doing that because I wasn't on their health insurance. So then they, which, you know, actually works out pretty nice, they partnered up with somebody. They partnered up with another company called Sleep Safe Drivers, and they got me a sleep study scheduled in the state of Michigan, which was nice. It was, you know, about 3 hours from where I live, but it's still better than going to Illinois and doing it. So I get this sleep study done, and turns out I have mild sleep apnea, which I would assume, you know, just by basic everything, you know, a lot of people have mild sleep apnea. I'm sure a lot of truckers have mild sleep apnea. So apparently it was strong enough to where they had to prescribe me a CPAP machine. So I have never been on any kind of CPAP machine or anything, and sleeping with something on your face that's kind of forcing air into your lungs when you breathe in, it's not too comfortable at first. You got to get acclimated to it. And from what I was told, the DOT recommends that you get 3 months to get acclimated. And after I got my CPAP, he only gave me a month. So come a month later, where I have to get another physical, I didn't have enough compliance, because they track how much you're wearing the CPAP, if you're wearing the CPAP, pretty much. You know, they're tracking everything. So yeah, I didn't have enough compliance. You're supposed to have 70% compliance or more, and I didn't have it. So I was put on a quote-unquote medical leave for a month to try building up that compliance, and that's exactly what I had to do. You know, I went home for a month, you know, got up that compliance, and as of right now, you know, the present, he gave me another 3-month card, and he wants to see, you know, basically a longer compliance letter by the time I come back. So my next physical is in February, nonetheless. So yeah, pretty eventful first few months. So I know I'm pretty used to the CPAP now, so you know, I won't have a problem with turning in a better compliance letter. So, but now that I'm on a CPAP machine, I am only allowed to have 1-year cards instead of 2 years, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But I do want to talk a little bit about, you know, just driving with Nussbaum in general, because I know, you know, I was talking more about the company at first, so I kind of want to get into that a little bit more into detail. After reading a few comments on my last video, because my last video actually got more attention than what I had originally thought. People want to see an update. Somebody was wanting to get in contact with me, I would assume, to ask questions about the company itself. So I will put my email in the description, so that way, I should have did it in the last video, but I'm going to put my email in the description. It might take me a few days to reply to you if you are going to email me. And like I said in the last video, I'm only going to put my email down, but if you have a lot of questions about the company, you know, email me and, you know, we'll talk about, you know, actually talking on the phone, because I can give you the whole rundown, and I don't really have anything bad to say about Nussbaum as a whole. So let me put it like this. Let me talk about the pros. I'm on a dedicated account, so it's going to be different from somebody who's wanting to go into the over-the-road portion of things, but I'm just going to explain it from my perspective and somewhat of what I know from the system drivers, because I am friends with a couple of them and talk to them pretty often. So just talking on this dedicated first, here's a bit of the pros. So I work usually Monday through Friday. I'm leaving on a Sunday night just because I have an early morning delivery tomorrow morning, you know, Monday morning at 7 in the morning. So in that case, I have to leave tonight. But usually it's Monday through Friday. I get the weekends off, guaranteed. Out of the 8 months I've been here, I've only worked into Saturday once, and I was home early in the morning Saturday, so they're usually pretty good with getting us home, at least because this is a Morton Salt dedicated account. They're usually pretty good with getting us home Friday afternoon into the evening sometime. So I get good home time. I have a wife and I have a baby, so it's really nice to be able to get home and see them, and it's only for a couple of days, but it's better than being gone 2-3 weeks at a time. So pay packages, I mean, Nussbaum pays really well, especially if you get good scores, like I mentioned earlier about scorecards. If you are, you know, among the top, you know, I'd say 10% of good drivers, and you have a really good score, then you get some pretty good bonuses. I mean, up to 4 cents extra a mile. They have the certified red program, which I'm currently in the middle in. And once you complete that program, it's like a continued education. Basically, you just get a fancy sticker on the side of your truck saying that you're certified red, and you get a nice class ring style looking ring almost that has a ruby in the middle and some diamonds. You know, just some things. And then I think you get a 3-cent raise, and then I want to say it's another cent after 500,000 safe miles you do. I could be completely wrong, but I'm not a recruiter and I don't really know that stuff off the back of my head, but it's similar. So they have all these good programs, good bonus programs, you know, just the pay all in all in general. And let's say on a week like last week, I only got like 1,100 miles because it was pre-Thanksgiving. We have Thursday through Sunday off. You don't get a lot of miles. Well, that's a pretty bad example because we actually don't get guaranteed minimums on holiday weeks. But you do get holiday pay. That's another pro, now that I bring that up. You get holiday pay, $250 a day for holiday pay, and if you're driving on the holiday, you get an extra $250 plus the miles you get. But let's say I have a slow week because it's actually been pretty slow, and you have like a 1,500 or 1,600 mile week. Now, the Morton Salt dedicated account gets a $1,300, and this is pre-tax, $1,300 a week, guaranteed. So after taxes, it's probably just a little over $1,000 a week. But there are the weeks that you can run, you can get 2,600 miles and make some pretty good money. So, because I think the dedicated guys such as myself, and I know there's some other dedicated accounts spread out among the East Coast, and then there's a big one in Georgia. We all get paid, the base pay for the miles are a little higher because that's just by default. We don't get as much miles as the general system freight guys do, the ones that are over the road and going pretty much everywhere. So we get, I think it's 60 cents a mile plus bonuses, you know, if you good scores, you know, whatnot. So pay packages, home time, in my case at least. A little bit about the system. I know if you're over the road and you're not on a dedicated, they're pretty good with getting you home. I guess it also depends on your driver manager. There's several different driver managers that you could get if you were to work for Nussbaum. So it could depend on your driver manager, your load, but the guy that works in the system that I mainly talk to, he gets home usually on Saturday morning. He'll get home on an occasional Friday night, and it's all mixed for me. He either leaves out Sunday night or Monday morning. So the home time isn't as great, but he does get home. So, yeah. One of the things I don't really like that some companies do, paid vacation after 6 months, or usually some companies will start paid vacation right away. Nussbaum starts their paid vacation after a year, so after March 25th, I believe I started, or March 21st, something like that. I get 5 days of paid vacation time, and in my case, that's not too bad because I get weekends off by default, so I could start on, I could start my vacation on a Saturday and then go all the way into the next Sunday. So, and then have Monday through Friday paid, which isn't a bad deal. And the pay goes by your average last, I don't know, 3 or 4 check stubs or something like that. So it's probably a wise decision to take vacation after having some good mileage the week prior. So yeah, vacation, it kind of stinks that you don't get, start building up that vacation right away. You have to wait a year, but I've taken a couple, I think I've only taken 1 personal day so far, but from what I know, they're pretty good with giving you some time off, even if it's unpaid. So they're pretty good with that. They're pretty understanding, and the company, it's just the company as a whole is understanding. So if you need to take a personal day, doctor's appointment, birthday, daughter's birthday, which I haven't requested yet, and I need to. My daughter will be turning 1 in January, so I got to take that time off. I definitely don't want to miss that. But special celebrations, they're pretty understanding with that kind of stuff, and they'll usually get you home. So that's definitely a pro. Cons, honestly, Nussbaum as a company, there are no cons. But I guess the only real con I can say, it's trucking. Trucking is stressful, especially when you're out. In my case, I am back and forth to Chicagoland almost every single day along I-94, I-294. The traffic sucks. The people don't know how to drive. That's just the type of stuff that you deal with as a trucker. So, con, it's trucking. But Nussbaum is, I grade it A+. I mean, they're a great company. They'll take care of you. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, it's been a good 8 months. I still plan on sticking around for as long as I can. Let me mention one more thing. Nussbaum is an employee-owned company, meaning they have an ESOP program, Employee Stock Ownership Program, that I think it's after, every year you get, I don't know how many shares in a stock you get for Nussbaum, but employees are given 10 to 12 shares or something like that. And if each stock is worth, I don't know what it's worth right now, I think it's like 26, 27 bucks. Well, you get 10 of those, or like I said, I don't know how many you get, but every driver gets a certain amount of shares after the end of every fiscal year or something like that. And that builds up over time. I'm gonna pass my house here. Give them a few honks. Yeah, so you're fully invested after 6 years, meaning if you were to leave the company for whatever reason, after 6 years, say you have $10,000 invested into the company, and this is, they're just given to you. You don't have to put any money in to be invested. You're just automatically invested, and then you're fully invested after 6 years, I want to say. And say you have $10,000-$15,000 in stocks 6 years later, and then you want to leave. That money goes directly to you, pre-tax at least. I mean, it's obviously taxed, but that money goes to you. They did a calculator for me when I was in orientation. If I retired by the age of 60, 65, with the stock price where it was back in March, and I know it's different now, but by the time I retired, I would have just over $2 million in employee stock ownership. And you get all that money by the time you leave. But if it's that much, I think they do 4 split up payments over 4 years. But that's still quite a bit of money. So that's free money that you're getting over the course of working with Nussbaum. And that's a pretty good deal right there, I'd say. So, yeah, employee-owned, purpose-driven. Awesome company. Everything's going great. And like I said, I'm going to put my email in the description below. Shoot me an email, and it might take a couple of days to respond, but I'll respond to you. So, yeah, pretty much it for now. I will be posting more updates or, just random videos of story times or whatever, if that's what you guys want to see. So, until next time, keep trucking, and we will see you guys in the next video. Have a good night.